Welcome to the second module of Theory of Computations. So in this module we will learn about the finite automata. Finite automata is characterized by having no temporary storage. Since an input file cannot be rewritten, a finite automata is limited by its capacity to remember things. So a finite amount of information can only be stored in the finite automata by placing the unit into a specific state. So in the slide you can see the important components of the deterministic finite automata. There is an input tape. So it is an input mechanism which can move from left to right and read exactly one symbol on each step. The output unit tells you whether the string is accepted or rejected. The input string is accepted or rejected, and finite automata is the central processing unit. So to summarize the working of deterministic finite automata, at the initial time it is assumed to be in the initial state with its input mechanism on the leftmost symbol of the input string. During each move of the automata, the input mechanism advances one position to the right so that each move can consume one input symbol. When the end of the string is reached, the string is accepted if the automata is one of in its final state, otherwise the string is rejected. Transition graphs are used to represent deterministic finite automata. So in the transition graph, the vertices represent the states and the edges represents the transitions. Then labels of the vertices represents the name of the states and the labels on the edges represents the current input symbol. So in this example, Q0 is the initial state and the edges represents the transitions and Q4 is the final state. For the DFA, it is to be very clear that for every state there is a transition for every symbol in the alphabet, so that there are deterministic moves for each transitions, or there are deterministic moves for each symbols encountered by a state. Let us take an example. Let the input tape contains the strings A, B, B, A. It will start at Q0, which is the initial state. Q0 on encountering the symbol A moves to Q1, that is delta Q0A is equal to Q1. The state Q1 on encountering B moves to Q2, that is delta Q1B is equal to Q2. The next symbol is B, that is delta Q2B is equal to Q3, it moves to Q3. At Q3 on encountering A, it moves to Q4, and remember the string is finished, the input string is finished and the current state is an accept state. So the last state determines the outcome. Here the string is accepted. This is an example of a case in which the string is rejected. Consider the string A, B, A, and we will start at Q0. The initial state Q0 on encountering the symbol A changes to Q1. Q1 on encountering the symbol B changes to Q2, that is delta Q1B is equal to Q2. And Q2 on encountering the next symbol A moves to Q5. The input is finished, and what is the current state? The current state is Q5, and this state determines the outcome. As it is a non-final state, the string is rejected. This is another example of a rejection case where the tape is empty, where no symbol is being read. So you remain at the initial state itself, Q0, which is now again a non-final state, hence the string is rejected. So this automata will accept only one string, that is A, B, B, A. To summarize the acceptance and rejection of a DFA, to accept a string, all the input string is scanned and the last state is accepting. To reject a string also, all the input string is scanned and the last state is non. Consider another example where you have three final states, that is Q0, Q2 and Q4, and the examples we will consider are epsilon, AB and ABBA. Currently the input tape contains the symbol epsilon, that is your empty tape. So you are at Q0, so we will remain at Q0 itself. So Q0 is the final state also, so it is accepted. Let us consider the next DFA. We start at Q0 and the accept state is Q1. We also have a trap state, that is Q2. Consider an example string AAB. On encountering the first symbol, we are at Q0, which is on encountering A, it will not change state, it will remain at Q0 itself, that is delta Q0A is equal to Q0. As we move to the next A, that is on encountering the next A, again the same transition happens, that is it remains at Q0 itself, that is delta Q0A is equal to Q0 itself. On moving to the next symbol in the string, that is B, Q0 will change state to Q1, that is delta Q0B is equal to Q1. So at this situation the input is fully consumed, that is the string is finished. So we are currently in the final state. Q1 is a final state as marked by the concentric circles, hence the string is accepted. Now let us consider a case of rejection, that is where the string is rejected. Here the input string is B, A, B. We start at the initial state Q0. Q0 on encountering the B symbol moves to state Q1, that is delta Q0B is equal to Q1. On encountering the next symbol, that is A, from Q1 the transition is delta Q1A is equal to Q2. The input moves to the next symbol, that is B. So Q2 on encountering B remains at Q2 itself. So the string is finished. So what is currently happening is, as the string is finished, we check Q2. Is Q2 a final state? No, Q2 is not a final state, hence the string is rejected. Language accepted by this particular automata which we were discussing is now written as L is equal to a raised to nb such that n greater than or equal to 0. This is another example of the finite automata for a particular string x, so that x is an element of sigma star and x is even. So this is the formal definition of the deterministic finite automata. It consists of 5 components, that is q, sigma, delta, q0 and f, where q is the set of state and sigma is the input alphabet and delta is the transition function which is defined as q cross sigma gives q, and q0 is the initial state and f is the set of accepting states or final state. As per the given example, what is Q? The set of states, it comprises of Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 and Q5. And what is the sigma of this particular automata? Sigma is equal to the input alphabet. So it consists of A and again as per this automata, the initial state is marked as Q0 itself. The final state of this automata, that is F, is equal to Q4, and please remember that F is a subset of Q. And the transition function is defined for a DFA as Q cross sigma gives Q, or generally I can write it as delta Q of X is equal to Q dash. That is, this transition describes the result of a transition from state Q with symbol X. It moves to Q dash. This is an example of a transition of delta Q0A is equal to Q1. That is, Q0 on encountering the symbol A moves to Q1. The example of transition, Q0 on encountering a symbol B moves to state Q5. Yet another example of the transition, Q2 on encountering symbol B moves to Q3. So till now we were describing transition graphs, or we were designing DFAs with the help of transition graphs. So similarly, transition tables can also be taken in place of transition graphs, which will contain details of the states and symbols, thus describing the delta in the form of a table. Now let us see what is an extended transition function. The extended transition function is represented as delta star and it is defined as Q cross sigma star. Sigma star denotes the symbol repeated being 0 or more times. So the delta star, that is the extended transition function, is defined as Q cross sigma star giving Q, and it describes the resulting state after scanning a set of symbols, or I can say after scanning a set of string W. This is an example of the extended transition function, that is delta star Q0 AB. AB is the string which is being scanned over here. So Q0 first on encountering symbol A moves to Q1. From Q1 on encountering the symbol B, it moves to Q2. So it is represented as a series of transitions on encountering the symbol A followed by B. This is yet another example of delta star on encountering the lengthy string A, B, 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 A, A. So Q0 after a set of walks or after a set of transitions reaches Q5. Yet another example for delta star at Q1 on encountering the string B, B, A, the moves are from Q1 to Q2, Q2 to Q3 and Q3 to Q4. So delta star Q1 B, B, A is equal to Q4. So in general we can say delta star QW is equal to Q dash, which means that there is a walk of transitions from Q to Q dash. And what is W? W is a string comprising of sigma 1, sigma 2 up to sigma k. So please note that in between the states can be repeated. So this is represented by the diagram given over here. So a walk of transitions is given in the dotted lines. So the start character is sigma 1 and the end character or symbol is sigma. Now let us formally define the language accepted by a deterministic finite automata or a DFA. It is denoted by L of M and it contains all the strings accepted by M. It is also said that M recognizes LM. So here you will see how the language acceptance is written mathematically. For a DFA which is defined by Q, sigma, delta, Q0 and F, the language accepted by the DFA M is written as L of M is equal to W element of sigma star such that delta star Q0 W is an element of F. What it conveys is W is the set of strings which is accepted by this machine M. Q0 is the initial state. So if we make transitions from Q0 with W, you will reach a final state. So delta star Q0 W is a set of transitions which start from Q0. On finishing the string W, you will reach the final state, that is F. So in this example, we start from Q0. On encountering the W, it reaches Q dash, where Q dash is an element of F. So we can also see what is the language rejected by M. It is written as LM complement. So again it is defined in the same manner such that W element of sigma star such that delta star Q0 W is not an element of F. That is Q0 on encountering W through a walk of transitions reaches Q dash, where Q dash is not an element of the final state. So this is a case of language rejection. This slide presents some examples of DFA which accepts an empty language, which accepts all strings. This is yet another example of a DFA which accepts only empty string. This is an example of yet another DFA which accepts all strings with prefix A, B. This is an example of a DFA which accepts all binary strings containing the substring 001. This figure depicts a DFA which accepts all binary strings without the substring 001. This is a DFA which accepts the string which starts with A as well as end with A. So finite automata, as we know, accepts regular languages. So we can say a language L is regular if there is a DFA M that accepts it. So the language accepted by all the deterministic finite automata which we have still seen till now form the family of regular language. So to summarize all the DFAs which we have seen earlier, the languages accepted by all these DFAs has been summarized in this slide. So they represent actually the regular languages. Thank you. This covers the first part of module 2 of theory of computation with deterministic finite automata.